Okay, sir. Okay. Can I talk to the others who said Preeti and GP?
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please. Hi, how are you? Can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? I mean, are you into SAP or non-SAP or what kind of
So,
technologies you work with right now? Yes.
I'm a student right now and I'm graduating this summer. I did my bachelor
Okay.
degree in computer engineering and then I came
Okay.
to US for further studies and right now I'm pursuing master's degree in IT.
Okay.
So SAP technologies is first time I'm going to learn and I want to make my career move with SAP technology.
Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Nice having you here in the class. Basically, I'm a HANA consultant here. Just a little bit about me, and right now I'm at Bangalore. I've done 2 implementations and 2 support projects. In the last 5 years, I'm into HANA. I have 9 years experience in ETL, data warehousing, and SAP HANA in particular, business warehousing technologies and other things. I give corporate trainings here to companies like SAP, TCS, Robert Bosch, and other retail trainings as well. So yeah, that's about me. Let's see. I have a this course for you. And how about the other people, Joseph and JP?
Yeah, hi, my name is Ghanshyam. I'm into SAP basis.
Hello, Joseph, JP.
Are you able
Yes,
to hear me?
sir. Oh, you're a consultant. You are a DBA. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. You are a DBA guy. Yeah. That's nice. Nice to know that. Please
Yeah, I was saying
go
that.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that I'm SAP basis administrator, not a DBA, but basis administrator.
Okay. Okay. You by any chance you know the SAP HANA a little bit? Anybody knows SAP HANA before? And okay, can we start? Maybe he said I have to wait for a person.
So the guy has arrived.
I think you can start. You're late by 15 minutes.
The guy has arrived, right? Okay.
Yes, sir, you please start it because the Ali has
Okay,
arrived.
sir.
He
Let
is
me
sitting
just.
with me. He is going to.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Okay. I wanted to talk to the other person. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Anybody? Any new person? Yeah, hi, sir. Sunil. Who has arrived, sir? Your name?
Ali.
Okay. Okay.
Next take 1 2 3. Next take 1 2 3. Yes. Next take NEST. E double G. E double G. 1 2 3 4.
Just a minute, sir. I'm actually not able to get this file actually. Yusuf has arrived. Hi, Yusuf.
Hello? Yeah, I'm here. I've been here like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, last time I see you here. Okay. Yeah. Just, I'm sorry, I'm not able to get this file. I'm just trying to get this file actually for you. It's okay. Let me start from this probably. Just wanted to start with the SAP HANA. Okay. Let me just start, a little bit brief discussion and overview about SAP HANA before we get into the class, of course, because some of you are new entrants today, and I was just thinking I should talk a little bit more about, as this is the first session, yeah, including the demonstration. So please interrupt me, anybody, if you when I'm talking. HANA stands for High Performance Analytical Appliance. Let's just start from there. Okay. It was, into the market from 2011 November. So what is high performance analytical appliance? Basically, the SAP targeted HANA as a super fast database system for their SAP systems, of course for the non-SAP systems as well. SAP is not having database system of its own until HANA comes. SAP system was evolved from R3 to, initially it was R2 and R3 and ERP and S4 HANA now. I think you know this ecosystem, SAP ecosystem maybe. Let me talk a little bit about SAP ecosystem. We had first R2 and then moved to R3 and moved to SAP ERP, S4 HANA. This one is actually I call SAP ecosystem, yeah. It was from 70s to, from 90s to, from 2004, I guess, to 2015. So in the SAP, this was the evolution of the SAP systems, which means the evolution means basically SAP. We have very successful software from SAP ERPs, Enterprise Resource Planning, various functional modules we have. SAP serving to various functional modules such as sales and MM, plant maintenance, project management. I think you know that SAP about the SAP and its functional modules. We have basically functional consultants in SAP, and we have technical consultants, and then we have techno-functional. So SAP does not have its own database systems until 2011. So SAP was striving to get the best performance database, and then we are here today with the HANA. So in HANA, high performance means it is just targeting about the speed in terms of handling amount of the data that we process. So it can process The main point is it can process huge data, and it does massively parallel processing, and it is actually in-memory database systems. We'll talk about all this anyway, and it is column-oriented. By the way, let me ask you some questions on the RDBMS. How many of you have the experience in RDBMS? Any database, such as, let's say, Oracle or I'm assuming that you guys, all of you had experience in some of the RDBMS, any of the RDBMS, such as Oracle or SQL Server, or at least you know how the system works. Am I correct? Because from there I'll take it forward. But if anybody is new to RDBMS itself, it is better that I talk a little bit about RDBMS in general. Everybody worked there with RDBMS systems, right? Prithvi, Mohsin, Kamran, I know he knows it. Aruna also, I spoke about it. Of course, she has that concept anyway. I can go ahead, right? Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
You worked with the RDBMS before. May I know what kind of RDBMS you worked? Because from there I can relate to SAP HANA, because fundamentally SAP HANA, the first point, it is an RDBMS. From there, we have several other potential aspects of SAP HANA. The first point is the RDBMS SAP HANA is. So I just wanted to know that you guys have some experience in RDBMS. If not, just buzz me. I just want to know about the new people actually here today.
Yeah, actually I have not worked professionally in a company or something, but I have worked with SQL Server and RDBMS in my undergrad when I was having a project. So I created databases and perform some joins and triggers and all. So I'm aware about it.
That's nice. That's very nice. That's what I want. So others also, right? Mohsin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just take over from there, I think. Okay. See, HANA was actually, I have these points like this anyway. Let me just go one by one. The traditional database system works like this. I'm sorry, this is a this is a CPU. Actually, if you see the the traditional how the RDBMS, how it works, the first point we see is the SQL server is sitting here. In the hard disk drive, and then the portion of the SQL server will be brought down to the RAM when we actually process the information. So there's going to be information I/O here. We have very strong I/O here. We call it, I guess, that I/O. It performs I/O. And this one, RAM, is basically it's about 100,000 times faster than the hard disk drive. Of course, we have the cache also here. Now my point is, the HANA is a little bit different. HANA is going to sit here actually.
So in RAM.
Exactly. HANA is going to sit in RAM. That's the first difference HANA made it, by which actually HANA is 100,000 times faster than the other database systems, other non-in-memory database systems, to be specific. And from there we will go forward. What are the other potentials that we have also? See, what happens here is, if the database is sitting inside the RAM, the first thing, it is very close to CPU, and the second thing is it is fast in terms of executing the things, because traditional hard disk devices are mostly mechanical. Of course, right now we have SSD and other things, other advanced hard devices, disk devices. But traditionally, this device has been a mechanical, which was driven by something like RPM, rotation with the hand. It has a hand rotation. It is limited. It is mechanical basically. So we have this advantage right now, SAP HANA sitting on the RAM. Now, I want to ask you an immediate question: how we can manage this? The first point, how we can manage this durability when we talk about. Guys, heard about asset properties in a general database? So the durability, if I take one aspect of this, the durability of a database system. So how can you manage the durability if we are keeping the database inside the RAM? Because RAM is volatile. Do you agree with me? So that is one thing that we have to see here, how the SAP HANA guys, SAP is managing that. And then second is, since we are keeping SAP HANA in the RAM, we cannot just get the software and install on our computer, because RAM is limited on our computer. So for that, SAP said HANA is not software itself. Nothing but appliance. Which means they said HANA is nothing but software plus hardware. This is the first point. We have a difference here. Because they wanted to, bring speed into your system. They decided that they wanted to put SAP HANA onto the RAM itself completely, 100% onto the RAM. So the fact that it is going to reside on the RAM decides the RAM capacity should be more based on your data footprint. So for that, they said they will come up with the RAM. And not only RAM, they said the CPU also, they are coming with a much powerful CPU, because HANA is just not just software, as we said, as we discussed. You have to buy a box HANA hardware from the SAP vendors when you buy software as well. So they're going to deliver hardware also to you. So that way, right now, that is the reason why I cannot install HANA on my system or even in your system. It will be only enterprises who have the HANA. We will just log on to their system and practice tomorrow going forward. When I get into the slides, I just show the slides and run through this training. At the same time, how would we do the hands-on is, you will have your own credentials to log on to the remote server, and I will have my own credentials to log on to the own, that SAP HANA server. We will log on to the server, and then we'll be practicing our exercises. So the fact that HANA is an appliance, we cannot install on our computer. This is the first point that you have to make a note of. And then, any questions on this? And immediate now. Yeah, please. Any questions on this?
Yeah. The reason we couldn't download, or is it because on cloud or security?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a good question. That's what I'm trying to say. HANA Cloud also, that is a different aspect. Just now, as you posed a question, we cannot download SAP HANA software because It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work the way how SQL Server and Oracle works. It is packaged along with the hardware. So it cannot be separated. So if you want to buy HANA, you have to buy HANA hardware, which is a HANA server, SAP, certified vendor, such as Dell or HP and other vendors you have in the market. Along with that, they will also give you SAP HANA software. So right now, our option is we only have to get the credentials to log on to the remote server. Who has it? We can subscribe it to the companies. Works that way. They either of course, like you said, it is going to be private cloud and public cloud. They go with the HANA. You can also get it. If not, you have to install your own appliance and then do it. So what we do is, going forward, we do like this. There will be HANA server installed remotely for us. Usually HANA server is installed at the Linux box, always Linux box. We don't have a choice. HANA server cannot be installed on the Windows box at all. There are only two choices we have: SUSE Linux and then Red Hat Linux. And then, but we have the other option where we have something called HANA Studio. This is actually, what is HANA Studio? Okay, let us discuss. HANA Studio is something which is an IDE, GUI based tools, integrated development environment, and which has a GUI, which has all the set of tools that are required for us to work with the HANA server. So it's a client software basically. So 70% of our work we do with the HANA server only. HANA Studio only. Right now in our training, we deal with the HANA Studio. 70% of our work, the slides that I show, the scenarios, the real-time scenarios, the examples that I show, all we will work on the HANA Studio. So because that is a client software, that is actually a front end, that is a GUI-based tools, set of tools, integrated development environment to actually, deal with HANA. So this communication is always going to be SQL or MDX. Anybody heard MDX?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, we're also seeing that. And then we would be connecting to this HANA Studio remotely. This is how we work, sir. Yeah. So we will be given our own credentials, something called user ID and login, of course, with the IP and the port number and the server details. What we do is we try to remotely log on to the system. By the way, this system is Windows again. This system is Windows. This system can be anything. The HANA Studio system can be your Macintosh, your Linux, or your Windows. You have options to have the HANA Studio on any of the systems. But HANA server is always sitting at the Linux box. Remember, we only have two choices here in the Linux box. One is a SUSE, and the other one is a Red Hat. So we have two options here. But anyway, this is delivered by the SAP vendors, so we don't have much of the server to do with. It is just comes from the package and comes from the SAP itself or SAP certified vendor. So the fact that HANA is appliance, we do like this, sir. So we will be having our user ID and password and log on to this, and I'll show you shortly this. Let us first talk more about the HANA. What is HANA, and the more details about the HANA. And now, okay. Let me just go on and give you the other things. Okay. The first thing, HANA is in memory, like I discussed. And then the second thing is, it is massively parallel processing, which means what? Any idea? See, these days we have, very powerful computing systems. Our handphone itself is very powerful when you compare with those days. So right now, SAP thought that, whoever wants to have HANA, they should be having the best, hardware itself, so that, they can handle huge amounts of the data. That's the idea. So massively parallel processing has generally, HANA box, HANA server has n number of CPUs, and obviously it has n number of cores. And of course you have, which means what happens is the parallel processing can be done of n into n number of times. You agree with me? For example, if I have, two CPUs and each CPU is octa-core, I will have 16 times of processing units. Do you agree with me? So HANA would want to, divide its data into 16 blocks to process. So that's the beauty of HANA. So what it does is it takes care of, it takes control of the hardware as well as, RAM, which is the hardware anyway. The processor as well as the RAM, it takes control. It delivers to you, based on the requirement. It's like, when we have a requirement, when we have to request, the first thing happens is that we have to request for the appliance. Request for the appliance. That time itself, we will have to submit, number of users and the amount of database that we have, we are going to have it. So based on that, they will decide what kind of system, we should buy from them. System means the hardware and software together. So this is how it works. So which means HANA is massively parallel, you can understand. It's much, much faster than the usual traditional database systems, even in terms of processing and in terms of having hardware itself, because the traditional database systems does not have a control on how much hardware, what kind of configuration you have, but HANA does it. That's the second thing. And any questions on this? The third thing is, it is actually column oriented. The third thing is column oriented. I think I wanted to ask you a few questions in the traditional databases. First of all, when we say column oriented, the immediate question is, what is row based database system? I could say row oriented or row based. So what is row based table? Any idea? I would say I have row based tables and I could have a column based table also.
No, sir. Well,
any idea, anybody?
In SQL Server, like
row based, that's a nice answer, exactly. So SQL Server has
and column.
I didn't get you. What is column again? The next statement you said?
No, you will see, like, for best example I give you, when you select in SQL Server, select start from EMP, so you can get the column with name, serial number, address, telephone number, and all.
You mean that is a column based?
Right.
In SQL Server?
Yes.
No, actually, no, sir. It's like this, sir. See, when I have a table, I think I'll give you an example. This is the best way to deal with. Let's say I have a table like this, okay? And I have, let's say, 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, sir. Assume that I have a table like this, and how this table is being stored inside the memory. See, table is a logical unit, The table as such doesn't exist in the memory. Do you agree with me? It won't be like the whole contents of the table inside the memory, isn't it? There should be a way to keep this table contents inside the memory. So in the memory, how it works is, memory is always sequential. You agree with me? So it works like this. So it takes the first row, you know, and then put it inside the memory. And then it takes the second row and then put it inside the memory, so on and so forth, third row, and like that. This is set to be row-based table. Then I think you can imagine what is a column-based table. Any idea what is a column-based table? What would be the inside the memory? What are the contents we'll have with a column-based memory? It will have like this: 1, 4, 7. This is a column-based table, which means what happens is here, it takes the first column and then put it in the memory, the other way, and then second column, put it in the memory, so on and so forth. Because see, when we have a table, which is a logical representation of this kind of thing that we have in our relational database, it's a relation basically. That's why we call it as an RDBMS. RDBMS in R stands for a table. RDBMS, we only have the tables. So table content has to be stored inside the memory sequentially, because the memory is sequential always we have. So we have two ways of storing this table always. So the traditional databases does it this way: SQL Server and Oracle. But whereas HANA does it this way, and in the same way actually, HANA does it both the ways, both the ways. This and also this. That means we have extra way here, which is called column-based table. See, what is the advantage of, see, when you look at the table, you would not know whether it is a column-based table or row-based. Please try to understand. That is only hidden information. You require some more extra information, whether how the table is being taken inside and stored. So if you look at it inside the memory, if the table is stored like this, then you call this as a row-based table. And then this database supports row-based tables. But if the table is stored this way, on the other hand, taking the columns and putting it sequentially, then this table is said to be a column-based table. You cannot know it by looking at the table. That's what again I'm telling you. You have to look at internally what happened. There should be a way to look at, to understand how the database system, RDBMS works. Software takes the table inside.
So by default, in what order it will save?
Table is said to be a column-based table. The immediate question is, what is the advantage? What are the advantages for row-based and what is the advantages for the column-based? Please. Which means, that's a good question really. Which means in SAP HANA, create table is nothing but the same as column-based column table. You know. On the other hand, you have, sorry, let's go. On the other hand, you have create row table, which is different. You know, the by default, it is basically a create column table. Is nothing but a create table. So by default is this one. Is this one in SAP HANA. They advise you not to create row-based table unless, you know, we're going to see that. Anyway, we're going to see, first of all, we have to see what are the advantages of row-based and disadvantages of row-based, as well as what are the advantages of column-based. And why do we require, first of all, two types? And any idea on that? I hope you understand what is happening right now here. So my question is here, row-based you have, and then you have the column-based also. So what is the advantage for the row-based? See, traditionally, what happens was we have this RDBMS system traditionally. RDBMS system, the first and foremost advantage of RDBMS system, or the purpose of RDBMS system, may I know? Traditionally, the RDBMS system was developed for the storage purposes, isn't it? We do the transaction daily based, hourly based. It could be yearly based. I'm sorry, weekly based. So the transactions could be daily based. We could be dumping the data into the RDBMS. So it is optimized for the saving purposes, isn't it, rather than the reading purposes. Please make a point here. Optimized for storage purposes. Why I'm very much specific on this is write intensive system, so that you understand where I'm going right now. Which means you can immediately ask, can't we read from the RDBMS? Of course we can read from the RDBMS, but that's not meant for it. Which means the reading from RDBMS takes a little bit of effort for you. The structures, the system, the very purpose of system was not for that. The very purpose of the system, the structure, all maintained to make the system write intensive. You could simply dump the data with no effort. But at the same time, if you want to read the data from the system, you will have to make an effort. You will have to make a query, which will be a complex query if you are dealing with more number of tables, of course, inside the database. And that's not meant for that. It's not the read intensive system. So what happens is now, assume that your database is growing, because these days you have a social media, you have internet, you have unlimited ways where data is piling up in your computers. And then you got to deal with a huge amount of data in the projects, big data and other projects. So what happens is, if your database, assume that you have a database of 100 terabytes, let's say with 20 tables or 30 tables, 30 master tables, complex structure, assume that. If I want to pose a simple question, on this database, what happens? Do you see that how complex it is going to be if I want to retrieve the data from the system? The first, you have to make a complex query. You have to work on the second. The complex query is going to be taken by the system and executed. So that itself requires huge amount of power also at the same time, which means the idea, what I'm trying to say here is that database systems are traditionally two-dimensional structures, which are meant for write optimization. Again, I'm coming to the same point. So now, how could you make the system such a way that the system becomes read intensive? Can somebody help me? How? I think you agree with me at these points, whatever I explained, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
So it makes sense, right?
All new.
Sir?
So for me, this is all new because I never had the information about HANA server.
No problem, sir. But is it understandable? Please, yeah, that's okay. I'll be going through everything. I'll be taking you to all the concepts that are required for you to understand SAP HANA, obviously. I still did not go into the SAP HANA itself. This is just a warm session. We're just talking about all the aspects of SAP HANA. We still did not jump into that. I still did not open my
So your voice is breaking. So your voice is breaking.
Just I want you to do a little thought process to understand what we have to do to be all the people same problem?
Yes,
Hello?
Veera, I can't hear you because your
Aruna, you also have the same problem?
yes, I do have that problem and I can't hear you properly. Sometimes it's blank. I mean, there's a blank. I can't hear the whole sentence.
Even me too, sir.
Aruna, the voice saying, okay. Aruna, can you hear me?
I can hear you when the voice is clear. It's very clear, but I mean, it's not most of
Everybody
the
the
time.
same
But
thing, so that
sometimes
means
it's
internet
speaking very
problem.
badly. I can't hear you then. Yeah, I can't hear you now.
Now let's see. See,
Can you hear me, Veera?
Okay, let me just fix it. That's all.
Maybe your phone.
Yeah, no, I can hear you actually. I can hear you. For me, no problem. I see. Probably what I do is, okay, let me just try to, change the my ISP. I have the other ISP, and then I'll try to see if I can have the better internet connection.
Actually, it's
I'll,
not
I'll
that.
take a break after a few minutes, and
Yeah.
then we will do with the. Yeah, because I'm worried. You should be able to hear me, right? Otherwise, all my effort is I don't know. You should be able to hear continuously. That's what I want. Preeti, can you hear me?
Yes, but half of the time it's cracking and I'm trying to understand from your presentation actually.
Oh my God.
It's just
So that means all.
for a few seconds it gets like digitized voice, so I can't hear you.
Sure.
Yeah. The first thing is it? At least you got my thing about RDBMS. I'm asking you. There is a need to make the RDBMS into read intensive system at times.
Normal.
Any idea? Anybody?
Normal.
It's not clear. Hello? It's not clear? Okay, we do one thing. Just give me a 10 minutes break probably. I'll just switch to the other ISP and I'll take a break and come back to you. Is that okay?
But I mean, your voice is coming fine now.
It's coming fine.
Yeah, I can hear you properly. Clear.
Okay.
It's okay. We can take a 10 minutes break. That's okay.
Yeah. We'll just take a 10 minutes break. And then in the meantime, please think about this, the thing that I'm asking you, if you have any, if you can think about this. This one. Okay, we'll be getting more into this. Okay, I'll come back to you guys. Yeah, 10 minutes, yeah. Just 10 minutes only.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello? Yeah, hello, I'm here. Can you hear me now? Everybody there?
Yes, I can hear you much
I
better.
changed the yeah, ISP. I think now it's better, right?
Yes, much better.
Okay, thank you. See, what I was trying to discuss with you is, I was just trying to discuss a little bit about RDBMS first. And then, I said RDBMS was the right intent, so I suppose there was no objections from that from you. And then I'm just trying to find out how we can make this database as a read-intensive system, because at times we might have to deal with the database more for reading than the writing. For example, I think straightforward I can say, if you want to conduct analysis on the database, so what you do is you read more than you're writing it, isn't it?
Yes.
So what do you do for that? That's my question. So assume that you have, let's say, 100, 200 terabytes of data. Your database has reached right now to a point where you're not able to manage it properly in terms of reading from it. Of course, you can manage it to keeping it safely, and then to write on top of it more, more amount of data to bring inside. You can do that, but because that's what it meant for. But if you have any query, for example, I give you one simple query. Let's say you have one table like this, just one table. This one is an employee. I say here employee ID, and let's say, sorry, customer ID, and here is customer name, here is amount. If I have like this one simple table, but assume that this table is of 1 billion records. It's just a simple table. But I ask a simple question based on the amount. I want top 5 customers list. This could be a simple question, but actually, the database will struggle to answer you. Do you agree with me? Because it has to go through all this 1 billion records sequentially. It has to pass through every record to actually find out the top 5 customers in this. Because 2 reasons. One reason is the table is very huge, and then the other reason is you are actually going through this sequentially, row by row, and probably if you are sitting on the sequential, if you are sitting with the traditional database system such as SQL Server. In fact, the SQL Server, it will take about this will take about 65 minutes to get the answer. But if in case HANA, it just takes 3 seconds, to get this answer. The magic here is, one of the magic here is, HANA is, there are so many other things helping HANA to be very powerful. We'll be studying all that in our classes. So the fact that it is column oriented, and then it can also host. I think I should first go back to keep this aside for the moment. I'll come back to this. But let me go back here. What is the aspect that you have to do to make the system as read intensive? See, it's simple. The answer is you have to change the structures. So you have to move into data warehouse. That's the solution. Data warehouse is the system that is meant for the analysis. So which means this is a read intensive system. Now my immediate question is, what makes the data warehouse is read intensive than the write intensive system, which is RDBMS? What is that major difference? Can anybody tell me? Yeah. So what makes it data warehouse read intensive? Can anybody give me a clue? Amranalvi, Aruna, or Preeti? Anybody?
No, I don't know.
But you agree with me that the data warehouse is read intensive, right?
Reporting?
Yeah, it is actually, the purpose is reporting, analysis. The outcome of the analysis is reporting, of course. Analysis means you could do, trend analysis, predictive analysis,
Are you writing for
forecast
us
analysis.
somewhere?
Sorry?
Are you typing for us somewhere?
Yeah, I'm just writing here for you.
Because I can't see the
You cannot see?
screen.
Yeah. No.
You cannot see the screen?
The screen is last old Paint, MS Paint screen.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right now? Right now?
Yes. Yeah. I can see.
Okay. I'm sorry on that. Yeah. See, my question is, I've been typing this. You're not able to see this. Okay. I'm sorry on that. I forgot to share the screen. That means the second time. See, the fundamental difference I'm trying to tell here is when your system is piled up with huge amounts of data, and then when it is becoming, too tough to handle your data, if you want to conduct analysis, obviously you have to move to the data warehouse. So the data warehouse is actually warehouse of databases, isn't it? Is that only that or any difference? But it is fundamentally a database, but it is different from the database. Obviously, the way how we store the data, which means the structures are different now. This is the first point you have to remember. Structures are different here. Here we move to multi-dimensional structure. Whereas in RDBMS, as you see here, we only have two-dimensional structures. So here in data warehouse, we have multi-dimensional structures. That makes, so powerful. The multi-dimensional structures will help you to actually conduct analysis. These structures will make your system read intensive. So then, what is the multi-dimensional structures? See, the two-dimensional structures are, we know it is just a simple, we have a table versus table. The two-dimensional structures works like that, but with the help of a join. We have about 10 types of joins anyway. So based on the join, you have the relationship anyway. This one is a table 1, table A, and then table B, for example. This is a two-dimensional structure. You agree with me? This is a two-dimensional structure. So we will talk more about multi-dimensional structures shortly in today's class or going forward classes. But the fact that I try to get this point here, the fact that it is only two-dimensional makes the RDBMS only write intensive. And the fact that it is multi-dimensional makes data warehouse read intensive. We will see how it is. So we have come to this place from where? From the HANA, SAP HANA main points I was trying to put here, right? SAP HANA. We started with, in memory, we have seen what it is. And we say massively parallel processing, we have seen what it is. And we say column oriented, we have seen what it is, which means they'll be also row oriented. And then the difference is, okay, now this is the time I want to see the difference between row oriented and column oriented in terms of how they can help us. We have row based and column based. You tell me, for the writing purposes, which one is good for the writing purposes and reading purposes? For example, if I have to insert, which one is better here? If I have to update, which one is better? I'm talking about the update table, insert table, and then select star read from the table. So there is a difference between these two. You agree with me? For example, if I want to read, this one is better. Exactly. Because I can directly jump onto the column that is required. For example, in the earlier example that I gave you, customer ID and customer name and customer amount, if I want to find out the top 5 customers, I can directly jump onto the customer amount and then find out which one is, more and which one is the second best, third best, and things like that. But whereas if it is a row based, I'll have to pass through every row, the customer ID, customer name, and the amount, every row by row for all 1 billion. So imagine how much, effort I can reduce if it is a 1 billion records. It's a huge, right? The difference is, this is a table, for example. If I use the column based, I can directly jump onto this column, and then understand who has more amount here in the customers that I have. Otherwise, if I go the row way, what happens is I have to go through every row, which is 3 times effort. So like he said, column-based tables are always good to read from those tables. But what happens if I want to do insert? Which one is better? Insert. All right. In other words, which one is better, row-based or column-based? Here or here?
Row-based, because it will jump from left to right, right?
Exactly. So because insert is better, row-based. Imagine otherwise you in our previous example when I gave, what happens is the same example. If I have to, the row-based was looking like this, right? 1, 2. Right, where we have this. This is the first row. This is the second row, and this is the second row. Sorry. And then there's a third row. So what happens is, if it is a row based, you can actually put your directly here you can insert, or directly here you can insert. You can basically insert your row easily than the column based, because what happens in column based is, it will store like this: 1, 4, 7 is the first column, and the second column is 2 and 5 and 8. The second, and the third one is 3, 6, 9. So this is how it stores inside the database, inside the memory. It stores like this. So what happens is, now if I have to insert here, see, everything is changing right now. See, if my element is coming up here, the next one, I hope you're getting it, what I'm trying to say. So I wanted to put one more column like this. I'm sorry, one more row like this. It's not. One more row like this here. Assume that the row is going to be 10, 11, and 12. So assume that I'm inserting into the second row. So what happens the second row here, if it is row based, you can just easily bring this one and insert here in between, But whereas if it is a column based, the effort is much more. This is more simpler than the column based. Column based, what happens is you have to move everything. For example, after after 4, the 10 comes here, and then again after after 5, again the 11 comes here, so on and so forth. So it is not optimized for that purpose. So we actually consider this is a good bet for the row-based tables. So likewise, for the analysis, the best one is this one. You agree, right? Analysis, the column-based tables are best because we try to read from it. For the storage purposes, the best one is row-based. You agree, right? This is the storage purposes. So which means if you are the database, it's a simple conclusion that I want to give you is, finally, if it is a database, RDBMS, row is okay, but if it is a data warehouse, I want row and column as well. You agree with me?
Yeah.
Right now you agree with me? Yes. So HANA is a database plus data warehouse itself. That is another point that you have to make a point here. Which means you can also build data warehousing structures. You can completely take HANA box as a data warehouse itself. It could do more than what you can do with the traditional database systems. Of course, to construct a data warehouse in the traditional database systems, it is still possible, but HANA makes it more better because the ground reality you have here is you have the column-oriented facility also, which makes it more effective to conduct analysis because it is easy, it's much faster when you look at the row-based. So, and then, okay, so what else in HANA? HANA is another point that I want to put is compressed. Highly compressed, actually, the correct word is. It's almost, about 10 times it could reduce your footprint. Okay, in the practically we will go for, in the projects about 6 to 7 times. But about 10 times it could reduce your footprint because, which means if you have 100 terabytes of data, you only require about 10 terabytes of RAM. You see, because it could compress. So the kind of compression techniques that we have in HANA is much effective than the other traditional systems that we have. So they made HANA such a way that, the target here is, the target of HANA is speed. This is the point we have here. They want speed to handle huge amount of data. That's not easy unless you do all this. So they try to do all, possible aspects that are technologically, advanced aspects. They brought inside the HANA to make the databases very fast in terms of handling huge amounts of data. And then what happens is, HANA is, this list will be going on. I think as we go into the classes, this list will be going on. Another point is here, HANA is OLTP plus OLAP, which means is again another groundbreaking news. earlier we used to have until 2000. This was happened in 2013. You know, HANA came into the market in 2011 November. In 2013, they made it. You know, HANA can combine OLTP and OLEP aspects in just one box. Traditionally, we used to have systems like this. I think I just want to give a brief of this OLTP, OLEP a little bit. What is OLTP and OLEP? Any idea? I think we all know that, but I just wanted to, make it a little fast, proper comparison. I think the main comparison I want to bring it here. Let's say you have, user interface here, and then you have application layer here. Application, and then you have, let's say, the database here. This one is RDBMS, and then this is set to be, OLTP system. You agree with me? And what is a OLTP system? The OLEP system is if you change this one to data warehouse, this is a OLEP system. Yeah. Sorry. If you change this system into data warehouse system, this is your OLEP system. Traditionally, there is actually a thin line between these two systems, because the way how the system functions is different from the way the other system functions, because the underlying, the storage system used to be a transactional system for the OLTP system. This is a transactional system, basically, the regular transactions. But whereas this one is an analytical system. This one is an analytical system. But right now, what happened was, after HANA, then what is HANA? HANA is nothing but, this one is HANA. The whole thing is HANA here. Can you imagine that HANA is not just database, it could be a data warehousing system itself, and it has inside itself. So there's no, two layers. Usually the traditional systems, again, one more point, I'll have to come to that also, another powerful point. Traditionally, we have three-layered architecture in the software systems, where we have a user interface layer, and we have an application layer, we have a database layer. But application layer and database layer both are inside the SAP HANA itself, whereas the database itself is having. Please, again.
Sir, can you repeat that? What is HANA? Because once you were explaining so for shortly, the voice had breaked.
Okay, the voice was breaking in this also. I changed my ISP. Okay,
no,
let me try some. Yeah.
No, it's fine. When you were explaining that what is HANA, for that duration it had been breaked. No, it's fine.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir. Yeah. See, what I was trying to explain HANA is, okay, let me go in here with one more little bit picture here to explain here. See, traditionally we have, this particular, this is a basically traditional system that we have three-tier system basically. This is a three-tier architecture. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have, application layer where we have all the application intensive logic, web server, internet server, and all the things are here. And then we have obviously front end, web browser and other, consumption side user interface we have here. And then underlying the database is in the another layer. But what happened with the SAP HANA was these two things are inside just one box, which means in SAP HANA database, if this is a SAP HANA, we have something called, Access Engine, which is a lightweight web server, along with the application server inside it. So which makes it, this whole thing becomes SAP HANA, which means that, what happens when you have a business intensive logic and then the data intensive logic, you have to, go from this place to this place quite often inside your application. There is going to be much of, delay in terms of, traversing through application layer to the database layer. But whereas here, it minimizes again. The whole concept here, the focus is how they can eliminate the time lapses. So the fact that Access Engine, which is an application server itself, a lightweight application server, Access means extra small, extended services application actually, which is an application server itself, this one, made it HANA is more perfect. And then the fact that it can host the multi-dimensional structures made it also a data warehousing system. So right now what happens is this whole thing is SAP HANA in this, which means the transactional and analytical system is just one system, not like earlier, those days before 2013 we used to have, even now also, even non-SAP HANA systems, even now they cannot have one system for both transactional as well as analytical. No, you need two systems unless it is SAP HANA. If it is an SAP HANA, you can say that your system can be transactional, your system can be analytical, just one system. So that means your system can be an OLTP system itself and an OLAP system also at the same time. So that's what I want you to make a point here. Is that clear? Is that clear? Or you want me to repeat on this anything? Yeah, so that's very powerful, right? And this HANA is, like I said, it is a platform itself. What is a platform? Platform means something that, you have a software situation such a way that you can host the applications. That's what is a platform. HANA can be a platform itself. You cannot just say, see, right now we are trying to see what is HANA. HANA, we started from the RDBMS. From there we are trying to move everywhere. We're trying to see what is HANA. We first say that HANA is a RDBMS, of course. And then we keep on trying to understand it is an in-memory RDBMS, the massively parallel processing, it is a column-oriented. It is actually, it can combine database and data warehousing structures. And then it is highly compressed. And then it can host, OLTP and OLAP applications together in one box, which means it is OLTP and OLAP together in one system. And then the next point that you can say is it is a platform itself, which means it can host applications. That's what I mean. It's clear, right? Can host applications. Then immediate question is, it can host basically two types of applications, which makes it, native HANA implementation, we call it. The other one is non-native HANA. You heard this words? Very important, these are in the industry. You heard this before? If somebody is in the implementation, you can ask whether it is a native. See, the fact that you use HANA application server makes it native HANA implementation. But if you do not want to use HANA application server, you just want to use HANA capabilities, HANA is a database and data warehousing system. But if you would want to bring your own application server, then that implementation is set to be non-native HANA implementation. You got it? Is that clear? Is that clear, sir? Because it is very important that you have to be having a clear, difference between these two. Yeah. So which means in the non-native implementation, what we do is we actually just take the HANA as a database and then data warehousing system itself. We do not consider HANA as a platform. For example, you might bring your Java, or C# application onto your HANA system, and you might say that, no, I want to use my own web server. I want to use my own application server. I want to keep that my application is in one layer. Then I just want HANA as my database, data storage system. I want to take all other capabilities other than this platform capability. So it's okay, well and good. Then that's a non-native HANA implementation. That application is said to be a non-native HANA implemented application. Simple. But if you want to consider HANA's application server, so you want to take that application server also into your implementation, and that is said to be native HANA implementation, because here HANA does it more. Here HANA becomes platform itself. In the native application implementation, HANA is a platform. In the non-native HANA implementation, HANA is not a platform. I hope this is clear. Any questions? And then, see, this list will be going on. See, I think you can imagine how powerful this HANA is right now. That's why we are trying to get into this HANA. It's very powerful. So let me just, it's clear what I discussed so that I can move on to the other topic. See, this list will be coming up with so many other things going forward. I don't know, whenever things comes, if you can add it, this will be coming up.
To SAP HANA platform name, database.
Sir, you're talking something there. Please share it with us. You're saying something, Kamran Alvi?
Sir, little bit confusion that SAP
Please.
HANA is basically database, right? It is not a platform.
It is not?
Platform.
It is a platform, sir. That's what I'm trying to say. The first and foremost, answer what is SAP HANA is, obviously it is a database.
Okay.
Obviously it is a database. But if you keep on looking at the SAP HANA capabilities, like I was writing here one by one, SAP HANA, the fact that it has a application server itself make it become as a platform, sir. It is a platform.
Right, got it.
You got it, sir. See, the first and foremost is an RDBMS, no doubt about it. But we are trying to list out all the USPs of SAP HANA because it is so powerful today. It has so many advanced aspects. When you look at those aspects, all these are. In fact, there are many. It will be coming up when I go into the course. So all these aspects make SAP HANA so powerful today. So it is a platform itself. That's what I was trying to say, how this is a platform and how you can call it as native or non-native implementation. I guess it is clear, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions on this, Aruna and Preeti? If I right?
I don't
No,
have
I
any.
don't have.
Okay, so fine. So now what I was trying to say is, yeah, this is the HANA, and then let me just go into the little bit on the definition side also. HANA, they try to say HANA is high performance analytical appliance. Basically, there are three things we have to take from this. One is high performance. Okay, the other one is analytical. The other one is appliance. Now I think we all know why they are calling this as, Okay, so high performance by now I think we know because it can perform very well, much better than the traditional database systems, because we know why it can perform much better. It has so many aspects like this. Analytical is very interesting, which means we also know that it is an analytical system. It is not just the database systems, it can have data warehousing structures. It can qualify as a data warehousing solution itself, system itself. So you can conduct analysis on this. Appliance is something that, which is a software plus hardware. I think you know this definition of why they call this. And then actually the first name they said was, HANA was This one is from the SAP, right? The SAP founder, Hasso Plattner, you heard his name? He's one of the co-founder of the SAP. He was behind this. So it is actually Hasso New Architecture. This is the first, definition of, first acronym of HANA. HANA was derived from this HA, it stands for Hasso, and then this N, new, and then architecture. This was the HANA actually in the beginning. You have Hasso Plattner, research institution in near Berlin. So they have invented this HANA, by the way, way back in year 2010, with all these aspects. So you can also remember this. And now I'm getting into the actual, core subjects that I have for you. Just a little bit brief on that. I think I have explained the same thing to Aruna and Kamran Albi, but let me just put it a little bit for the sake of the other people that we have today. So we actually have, HANA integration or HANA data processing is one topic we have. I'm trying to write here all the sub-modules that I have for you inside my course. So the first sub-module that we have is data processing, which means this deals with this is a kind of ETL. Anybody has experience with the ETLs?
No, sir. Sir, ETL is the migration tool.
Correct. You're right, sir. You're right. But anybody has experience with any of the migration tools before? Maybe, yeah, I think that's okay, no problem. But if you have, that becomes more easy for you here. We try to learn all about this here. It actually deals with, how you can bring data from other systems into SAP system. How you can bring. So we have to study, some of the techniques which are available in the market to use them in order to bring data from sources such as SAP systems or non-SAP systems, RDBMSs or any other application systems. From there, we bring data into the HANA box. How do we do that? That aspect we will study here. So this is one subdivision, okay? And then we have the other subdivision which will be dealing with, this one is data modeling. Any idea about the data modeling? We talk about here two-dimensional modeling, multi-dimensional modeling, complex modeling scenarios. We will be talking about all the modeling aspects in this subdivision. So what is data modeling, by the way? I think we will also talk about more once we get into this topic. So by the way, have you guys worked with the ER modeling? I think at least in the beginning you will have the ER modeling in your database systems, entity relationship modeling. You guys work? Or two-dimensional modeling, it's the same actually. Which means when you have to relate two tables, more than two tables, you guys worked with the modeling before? Anybody?
Sir, I did financial modeling in Excel.
Financial modeling?
Yeah.
Okay, how many tables
But not in any ERP.
Okay, fine. ERPs are OLTP systems or OLEP systems?
Sir, I am telling that I did financial modeling in Excel, but not in any ERP tool.
Okay, that means you have not done. Yeah, I got it. So all these are, yeah, okay, I got it. So these are, if you say, right now what I'm trying to do here is, I'm trying to give a picture of how a data structure looks. Assume that all these boxes are tables, and then there are connections in the boxes, right? From one box to the other box are joins. So if you look like this, if you look at this particular structure, there are 4 tables which are connected here, with the joins, and then immediately we have to you know, understand what kind of join it is, depends on the, you know, business requirement that you have, and then the dealing that you want to make through these tables. So this could be a result of ER modeling, you know, or your two-dimensional modeling, which is a simple one. If you had worked with this before, you could imagine this is a two-dimensional modeling. But whereas we will deal with the multi-dimensional modeling, which means what is a multi-dimensional model? What is a multi-dimensional aspect? Any idea? What are the multi-dimensional structures, first of all, to understand? Any idea? Any names? Please? Any name? You heard like star schema, snowflake schema. You heard this? Constellation or whatever, you know, complex, the other things. Basically, multidimensional structures are the structures that we have inside the data warehousing system to make the system effectively become as an analytical system, so that, you know, we can conduct analysis, various types of analysis we can conduct to read the data, to pass through the data inside the structure very easily in order to, you know, read from it, in order to take any of the data item that we want in the structure. So these are the things also we'll be studying. So in data modeling, we'll be studying all this. We'll be actually studying, in fact, we'll be making this. You'll be making the two-dimensional models as well as multi-dimensional models. So we call in HANA, we call this as a information views. This is the word that HANA uses. So what is the difference between view and table? Any idea? You there? Aruna?
Yes,
I don't know actually.
Yeah. What is the difference between view and table? Okay. Anybody can throw me some light. What is the difference between view and table?
So the difference between
But you heard exactly what is view.
You only can see the rows and column.
Okay. The table, the actual table, the physical table.
There's a physical architecture, sir.
There's a physical architecture. View is not physical. It's just logical, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think he's right. He's right. See, the difference between a view and table is to put you right now. You will understand these things very well once we get into the, once we get into the class, you will understand very nicely all this. But to tell you, main difference. Just one example I'll give you. This one is it. This one is a full container versus this one is an empty container, you know. I think you understand now what it is. If I say table is a full container, the view is an empty container, which means what? The view will not have any data inside the view. It is just a structure hanging around for you to use inside your queries, for you to cook your query, for you to actually get to the container and try to find out which part of the container you want to use. You can chop the container off in a shorter size before you make it full. You know what I mean? So that's the view to understand at the moment. So it is just a plain structure which is in which the data is not available. And then view is actually on top of the table, which means the tables are something that you don't change it. They are just there. For example, master data tables and transaction data tables. You have the tables physically existing inside your database. They're just there. You cannot change them. But the views are something that You create them in order to, make your analysis. In the process of creating, you recreate them, you reuse them, you change them, you chop them off vertically and horizontally. When I say vertically and horizontally, if I say vertical, chopping means you're actually cutting down attributes. Then what is attribute? I hope you understand view, right? What is attribute? First of all, I should start from the attributes. I think. What is attribute in the table? Any idea? If I say this one is a table A, okay, and then the table header will have some information about the the column header will have some information about the column, isn't it? For example, this one is a customer ID, customer name is a string, and then customer amount is an integer value or something. So that information is an attribute. This is an attribute one. This one attribute, this is another attribute. Please?
Value, right?
Actually, attribute is nothing but it's not exactly the value. It's basically the column. The column of the table is an is actually, like, let's say the table A has 3 attributes. The first attribute is a customer number. The second attribute is a customer name. The third attribute is a customer amount. You agree with me?
Yes, sir, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's what it is. So the view is something that the subset of the table. It could be the table A view could be only just 2 columns rather than 3, or 3 columns, or 1 column. You have 3 choices here. In fact, you have 3 factorial choices, 6 choices to make the view from the table A. You understand? To subset, how many subsets you can bring from this table? Obviously, you can bring 1 is 1 subset, 2 is 1 subset, 3 is 1 subset, then 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3. If you look at all these are the views of this particular table. They don't exist physically. Like I said again, they are just empty containers. You want to create them in order to reuse them, in order to bring it into your main structure, bring it into your modeling, where you can actually make analysis to attend to your business requirement. Views are something that they're just structures which are hanging around. That's why I'm saying empty container. There won't be any data. The full container, it becomes only then when you access the view. At runtime, the view becomes full container. You agree with me? I think you understand now what is table and view. It is very important that you should understand this concept, because this is a whole concept you deal with inside the SAP HANA. Because going forward, we'll be using so many views. View means it is just a structure. You will not see the data inside it. It's just an empty container. But when you use the view, it will go into the database and it will fetch it. The empty containers becomes full container while you use it. Once you use it, it is back to again empty container, because it served its purpose in the analysis, mostly in the reporting. The consumption side only you require these views before you make a reporting. You will actually refer the view to attend to your query, your business requirement. So is it clear, the table versus view?
Yes.
Yeah, that is what it is. So in the process of making information views, that is something that we call it as a data modeling. I'll go in detail into that. Don't worry about this. This you will be seeing in depth, because I myself is a data modeler itself. See, this course covers data migration. You can become data migration consultant, or data modeler, or modeling consultant, or a data reporting consultant. There are 3 kind of jobs you can target actually based on my course. But you cannot target as a database administrator or HANA basis admin or somebody, because I cannot cover more details about the administration. Now, let me be honest with you. If somebody would want to become SAP HANA basis consultant, somebody would want to become SAP HANA database administrator, my course will not help them. If somebody would want to become SAP HANA data integration consultant, data migration consultant, my course helps you. Data modeling consultant, data modeler, Data reporting consultant, SAP HANA, yes, PROITKEYS does it. So what we're going to study in this second subdivision is about data modeling, about creation of information views, about how many types of information views we have in SAP HANA and what they are, how different each one when you compare with the other one. So things like that. So I will see in the data modeling subdivision. So and then the next one is, hope this is okay, right? Any questions up to now?
Yes, sir.
Please, sir.
Sir, it's mean that after completing this course, we would be able to become SAP data modeling and data migration expertise guys, right?
Correct, sir. I'll be writing down here. You can become actually any of this. The first one is you can become data integration consultant or data migration consultant. It's the same thing anyway, but there is a difference. Data migration consultant and data modeling consultant and data reporting consultant. All these I will cover nicely. But if somebody wants to become database administrator, yeah.
So does one certification will complete all, or does it have different certification unit?
No, the certifications in HANA, you have several types of certifications. For example, you know, that based on the types, based on the, you know, I'm talking about the sub-modules, right? Based on the sub-modules, your certification decides. If somebody would want to become administrator, you know, they deal with the administration. Right now, you can target, I'm a certified I myself in the SAP HANA application associate, my certification is called, which is actually C_HANA IMP 151. I think this is the one that I have done in 2015.
Right.
This was yeah. This is the one that you can target, or you can target some other thing. See, based on the you know, course that you target, they call it here. There are modules like HA 100. You heard this? HA 300. Yeah. These are the titles of the sub-modules that we have inside the SAP HANA. So based on the sub-module, they decide, you know, which exam is for what. And you also decide which exam you want to take, because they assume that one may not be able to master everything. See, even though I try to cover all these aspects here, please try to understand you cannot become all this. Tomorrow, going forward, you become either one of this, right? So that means you are only dealing with one thing, but we don't know which thing you're going to deal. So which part, that's why we try to learn all this. So tomorrow you might become only data modeler, which means you may not be dealing with the data migration part. So that part probably you will unlearn and you will more learn about the data modeling. Something like that maybe once you get a job, isn't it? So but we have to cover right now, I'm targeting to cover all these main aspects up to, you know, basics until up to some depth. You could see all these topics such a way that, you know, you can become, you can master yourself into any of these topics based on which topic is more interested and which topic you have jobs. You know, you cannot master all this. By the way, I just wanted to tell you, I don't think it is a good, you can master, but I don't think it is a good idea in the beginning for you to master all these topics. No, just choose one and master rather than mastering in every topic. You know, that makes more complicated in the beginning for you. Okay, is that clear, sir?
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Okay, so in the data modeling, in the data reporting, I try to, you know, bring some of the reporting tools. Excel I use. I try to bring SAP Lumira is another reporting tool. I try to use SAP Business Objects, Business Intelligence. You know, all these I try to use to actually report, to consume the data that is available inside. This could be one subdivision. And then we will have, I'll be finishing up shortly, just this is the last thing. Another one subdivision we have is data administration, but not much. This one, remember, not so much. Not so much, only a little bit. But I have the other fifth subdivision, which is very important and which will help you, is project. This is a COPA project. I call it as a COPA, which is a cost and profitability analysis. Basically, it deals with how you can use HANA effectively to, bring the speed to your system, to your financial system. This is actually a sub-module of the SAP CO. SAP CO is the main functional module, controlling module. This deals with how we can control the cost and profitability, financial business parameters. So it talks about, the existing financial parameters versus the forecasted financial parameters. So how you can actually compare. There is going to be project work also on this. So these are the 5 subdivisions that I have for you. So we'll be going through this. So I guess any questions on this? So I'll be also putting you, I'll give you one Dropbox going forward. I'll give you one, Dropbox URL where you get all PPTs, all PDFs, all exercise details, and all the things materials. You don't have to, worry about it. Everything I'll put it in one place. You get SAP certified materials, and then PPTs that I made it, that I, present to you in the class. All these you'll be getting this, and then you'll be also getting, user ID and password with the details, with the IP and all that for you to log on to remote system to work on. Remote system. So all these things you'll be getting it going forward in the next class onwards. So yeah, this is how it works. Any questions, please?
I believe this session has been recorded, so are you going to send us the recording also?
I think yes. Let me check that this session is being recorded. I can see here, and I'm sure that you can get this recording as well. Like every class, I think they want to record it. I'll let me check with the management on this. I'll come back to you. But I can see that this is being recorded. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, can we get the theoretical material on it?
Yeah, you can get all the theoretical materials. You can get PPTs from me. You can get PPTs. You can get PDFs. You can get some, some text files probably where it has some coding and all that. So everything I'll put it in the Dropbox, like I said, and you can just take them. And so whatever the PPTs that I have for you to make you walk through this. For example, right now, these are the PPTs that I have for you. You'll be walking through this. I'll be getting inside this the next class onwards. So all this, what happens is you will have there. Some of them I already spoke in today's class, but in the next, there are so many other things also there. All this material you'll be getting it in there. So material I'm giving it to you. Don't worry on that. I'll arrange the material for you.
And sir, as I want to give the certification for SAP HANA modeling, so can I get the material in order to pass the exam?
Yeah, you can get it. The PDF, that's what I say. These PDFs are from SAP. These are from SAP, authorized material actually. This is SAP material.
Sure. Sir, can I have your email address?
Sorry?
Can I have your email address?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it to you. Okay, this is what is my email.
And sir, your Skype ID and contact number can we have? Because we live abroad, so it's very, yeah.
No problem, sir. You can actually send me a test mail so that I can give you my contact number also. You can send me
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can send me a test mail. Anybody can send me a test email so that I can, anything you can just ask me.
Sure, thanks. Really appreciate.
Yeah, sure. I'll help you. I'll help you for your endeavors, like examination could be or job, or could be a mastering particular topic about SAP or SAP HANA or anything. So I know you might be having some, criteria in your mind that you want to master something or you want to get something certification or something. Obviously, I'll help you on that. I'll have to help you on that. As long as it is SAP HANA, I'll help you. I'll try to help you. But other systems, I'm not sure. The other systems, I have to put more effort from my side. If it is SAP HANA, I don't have to put any effort because I've been giving this training. Yes.
And sir, one thing that do you have some S4 HANA information?
I think I have kept it in the in the Dropbox URL. I'll check it out. I'll have something for you, sir. Not so much, but I'll have some basic material for that also.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Not part of it. Yeah, sure.
Sir,
Any questions, Aruna? Yeah, please.
Sir, the thing is, honestly speaking, that I have given this certification and passed my FI and CO exam, and I have got the training. Very nice teacher gave me training from the Bangalore, or from, I think so. Yeah, he was in Pune, but institute was in Bangalore. So he gave me good training. But I want to appear in certification, so I want help in order to pass the certification exam. So for that purpose, I was asking from you.
No, sure. I'll give you some of the sample question papers that I have also going forward. That's okay.
Yes, sir. Because sir, fees is very high. It's around $800. So it's very painful to fail and pass the exam.
No, true. I agree.
Yeah, thank you,
work
sir.
on that.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Preeti and Aruna, any questions from you?
No, I don't have any
Also,
questions.
Okay.
No, sir,
Okay.
very good.
So-
You really taught very well. Thank you.
Yes, sir, you taught very well, and really appreciate for your time and cooperation.
Yeah, sure, sir. We'll have so many sessions. We have a complete course ahead. Yes. So thank you, and thank you, Aruna.
I'd like to attend the sessions.
Thank you, and we are meeting tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
We will be, I think tomorrow we will meet for the moment. It's okay. Anyway, everybody, is there any problem? You guys have a meeting tomorrow?
No, sir, I do not have any problem.
Okay, all have time meeting tomorrow, right? We will see tomorrow then. That's better for the moment.
Tomorrow same time?
Same time. Actually, I scheduled this is going to be actually alternative days, but in the beginning, let's have a few sessions like this. Is that okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
because since we are not doing anything practical, so it's just theory, so we can continue already.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's better that you get some, details like this in the beginning. Let us have some sessions like this. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All. Good night. Good night.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Yeah. Good night. Thank you. Bye.
Hello. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello.